Okay, everyone. So we'll start the session now. So let me share my screen.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay. Okay. So before starting, so just we will also recap the things what we have discussed in the last session. And then if you have any questions also, so please, so let me know. We will discuss. In the last session, what we have discussed. So we saw that. So initial, so first class. So we see what is database, what is the difference between data warehouse, right? And then so why exactly we require a data warehouse, and then what are the different table types. All these things we have discussed, right? At the same time, data warehousing characteristics, so we have discussed. And then so what is oltp, and then so olap. Now so next session, so we discussed about what is the like dimension table, and then what is fact table, what is the relation between dimension and fact table, what is star schema, and then snowflake schema we have discussed. So then we discussed about so what are the different types of slowly changing dimensions. With the example, we saw that why we require a slowly changing dimension, so how we are going to maintain history, so based on version, flag, or date range. So then we discussed about so what is cloud, what exactly cloud. It's Snowflake is cloud data warehousing solution provided by SAS. It will so be a platform of SAS, right? So here, so what is like a difference between traditional and then cloud, and then what all the things will be come under the traditional, and then what will come under the cloud, and then what is the advantage of that, so we have discussed, right? Okay, so in this session, so what we will do is we will continue that. We will see first, so before jumping into what is database and how to write a queries, so how to fetch the data from the table. So first what we will do is we will try to create our Snowflake trial account for everyone. Okay, so what exactly I am going to do here, the same thing you need to do in your so system with your details. The Snowflake trial account will be created. The same account we are going to use so for our like a tables creation and to fetch the data from the tables for database creation, everything we are going to use. So generally, if you observe, so these are the things we have discussed. So we need to discuss about the architecture. This one, once we created the architecture, and I mean, once we created our Snowflake trial account, then I will show you so what is the difference, and then how the Snowflake architecture will work, and each and every layer. Okay, to give you the high level, so architecture in Snowflake, so we have basically three layers. It's a decoupled multi-cluster shared data architecture we used to tell. It means they are going to so operate storage separately, and then processing separately, and cloud services layer separately. Cloud services layer, what you are seeing, right? So just observe this one. So this one, so when you connect it to like our Snowflake trial account, this is completely, it will be what you are seeing in front of you, that is UI, user interface, everything it will be managed by cloud services. And everything whatever you are storing in the tables, those things will be in a storage. In between this UI and then storage, the communication, right? That is nothing but a processing layer, computation layer. This we used to call it as a virtual warehouse, but don't get confused with our data warehouse to virtual warehouse. Data warehouse is different, virtual warehouse is different. So for better understanding at this moment, just consider these are like so different computers or different laptops, okay, when we are connecting to our storage layer. So I will explain these things with a example, then we will be very clear for this. Now generally in any other database, if you want to install any database as a person, for example, we need to install in our system one database, what you need to do, we need to download executable file, or we can call it as a we need to download database software first, right? That is the first step. Once it is downloaded, you need to check so prerequisites of your system configuration, right? So whether your system configuration is supported to that particular software or not. Like sometimes some softwares required 12 GB RAM, and then some around, so 50 GB space should be required, or 100 GB space should be required. And then so this should be the processor, right? And then this should be like a i5 core i5 or i7. So then at the same time, so we will need some additional softwares to work with that your ware. Maybe it can be like .NET framework or Java framework, whatever it may be, it required to install in your system before installing your any database software. Let's say, for example, I will take, if you want to install Oracle, okay, in your system, what you need to do, you need to download the software. Then you need to check your system configuration, right, whether it is suitable to install Oracle or not. If it is suitable, then only you can install. Then what we are going to do, so we are going to so give so installation. When they are installing, installation, once the installation, when they are installing itself, they need to configure, right? It means they're going to create, for example, users and then roles, right? I will come to that. What it mean by the user, what it mean by the roles. We will discuss this. Don't worry about this. Now, all these things they need to take care, right? It means nothing but so you are going to create a user so to work, and the role you are going to assign to that particular user. Okay, role means nothing but in your organization, so you have four users. Okay, so and if you have four users, who is having permission, like admin, like admin role, developer role, tester role, right? In an organization, let's assume that we have five users. 5 persons is working in one organization or one project. When they are working in one project, they will have a different roles. Developer can able to restricted to do only something. Administrator can restricted to do only something. Testers can able to test. That's it. They cannot able to do others. So when they have different roles, each, so these persons, five persons, right? Five users will have different roles. These users will be assigned to the roles. Okay, understand, right? So in a family, if you have like so 4 to 5 members, each and every person is a user, and then each and every person have different responsibility. That is a role. Okay, that you can consider it as a role. Okay, now so coming to, okay, if it is traditional thing, then we have to do all these things, right? And most importantly, when you are downloading, so in any organization, if you want to like use this particular software, what you need to do, they need to pay a license. And so if is in your laptop, so you need some space in your laptop to install this, then only it will be installed. Otherwise, it will be not installed in your system, right? The same way, when it is coming to organization, so they required server rooms. It will be a huge, right? So then they required a server rooms when they are installing. They will maintain some nothing but a huge configuration of a system. You can consider that server rooms means nothing but server is nothing but, so here when we are working in our laptops, that is with small configuration, right? So decent configuration to work for one person, right? In a server means, so that has to work for a number of users, right? So that is, so configuration, it's a good configuration. Now, so these all the things you need to take care when you are working with our traditional thing. But when it is coming to cloud, no need to take care of all above things. Just with a URL, you can able to access your Snowflake account. It means, for example, if you have a Gmail, and if you created a Yahoo account or Gmail account, so for your email accessing, you can able to connect to your Gmail. You can able to work with your Gmail or Yahoo when you have internet connection and when you have a laptop, right? You can able to connect it from anywhere, right? And at the same time, so you can so use that. So once it is created, no need to create again and again the same account, same username and password you can use. right? The same way, if you want to create Snowflake trial account, Snowflake trial account, how easily we can able to create, we will see that now. Now, just observe this, what we are going to do here. The same thing, so you need to do it from your system. Just to type Snowflake trial in Google, Snowflake trial, you will get this link. Just observe this carefully. You need to do it so from your system, the same thing what you are doing here. And when you click on this particular link, signup.snowflake.com, we'll give it here, this particular link for a trial account, you will get this option. Now observe this. Here we have 30 days free trial version. 30 days free trial version. So below, so they are telling, so all these options is available in the free trial version also. And at the same time, they are going to give $400 worth free usage. So when we are using this particular software, so no need to worry about this 30 days free trial version. So because, so once this 30 days free trial is completed, still you can able to access your Snowflake account, but only the thing is you cannot able to create, you cannot able to create any new things, you cannot able to create table or database or schema, whatever it may be. If you want to do that, again what you can do is, if you want to practice again, you can create a new Snowflake account, trial account, by using different email ID. Sometimes same email ID also it will accept, but if it is not working, then we can use different email ID. Then we can able to create a Snowflake trial account. Now observe this, what are the things it is asking. Okay, this $400 is nothing but the price, Snowflake, how it is going to be calculated, right? The Snowflake, it will calculate, what it will do is, so based on, so 1 hour utilization of compute resources, it will charge $1.3 around, and 1 terabyte storage per month, $23. These two things it will talk about, this particular one. If you observe here, this one, this is 1 hour utilization of compute resources. So this is nothing but a processing layer. So this one, it will so be around $1.3, okay, for 1 hour utilization. Storage, you can see the storage resources, right? This one is for 1 terabyte storage, so it is going to charge per month around $23. Okay, so that $23 is the high level, so they have given this in our so documentation. But actually when any organization is using, they will get some discount on top of this, okay, based on the Snowflake, if they have any like a partnership with the Snowflake, and then if you have any special discount with the Snowflake, so they will so get the special so discount like in between sort of 5 to so 15%, it depends on the organization. Okay, now so this the $400, right, it will be calculated based on those two things. Now once the $400 is completed, again you need to create a new account. Okay, now observe this, what are the basic details they are asking when you are creating a free trial account. How easily you can create a account, how easily you can able to create the Snowflake trial account. Just observe this, what are the things it is asking. First name, last name, email, and then organization, right? Let me give so some first name, and then last name I am giving, and I will give some email ID here. I'm giving the email ID, and then organization you can give own, and then so select, so you can select the country here, so from where you are working. And this one, so I don't want to get the promotion emails. Okay, just why so I check this one. Okay, then click on continue. So what are the things I have given? Just given the first name, last name, email, and then organization. You can give any name here, your own name or surname, whatever it may be, and click on continue. When you click on continue, observe this, this is very important. In interviews also they will ask this question, what are the types of editions we have in a Snowflake. Okay, so when you install, so we will have a additions. Suppose let's assume that, so when you are purchasing a car, so in the same so brand, so you will have different versions will be there, right? The same way here we have different editions. Each and every edition have different features. Okay, add-on features. Now if you observe, we have standard edition, enterprise edition, business critical edition. These are the three editions it is available in our Snowflake. Standard, enterprise, business critical. If you want to practice all the features in our Snowflake, so what are the features the Snowflake has given? So then you have to go for enterprise edition. Enterprise edition or above. You can select enterprise edition or business critical edition. You can able to see when you are working here, so you can able to see only three versions: standard, enterprise, business critical. And when you come to any organization, you will have one more edition, that is VPS, virtual private snowflake. Okay, we will discuss in depth. So when you are working with a pricing concept, so we are going to discuss about what is standard edition, what is enterprise, what is business critical, why you need to go for VPS, virtual private snowflake. Okay, so in our classes we are going to discuss that. So in the pricing model, the 12th session, right, in the pricing model we will discuss in depth about how these things will be charged, what is the exact difference. So it will be around, so we can say that, so 0 point like a $2 to $3 difference will be there in between each and every edition. And at the same time, here if you observe standard edition, you cannot able to practice all the features. All the features will not be available in standard edition. And remember one thing, when you are working in any organization, no one will use, if it is an organization so prospective, no one will use standard edition. Standard edition no one will use in any organization, remember this. Okay, so just it is very basic features, so you will use for practice purpose. But again, in this also, time travel, multi-cluster warehouse, material use, so these are the advanced so functionalities and features in our Snowflake. These things is not available in standard edition. That's why, so no one will use this standard edition. In organization, you can see enterprise or business critical, or another edition is VPS, virtual private snowflake. This is the another edition. So the difference is, so here we have these features: time travel, multi-cluster, warehouse, metallurgical. These all are not available in standard. And coming to business critical and VPS, related to more security, like data masking, so prevention, failure, and so database failover, and then so rollback. So these things will be available in business critical. Same way, when they come to virtual private, so they have a separate private networks in terms of like cloud providers. Now, okay, anyway, we'll come to that again later. Now, how many editions we have totally? Four editions. And remember, standard edition no one will use in any organization, and above business, so above enterprise edition only, enterprise edition or above only they will use when they are working. Now we are selecting enterprise edition, so here we can able to practice all the features. Then Snowflake, what they have done, Snowflake, they build their architecture, this complete architecture, you can able to see it here, right? This complete architecture, they built it on existing the cloud providers. These are the leaders for the cloud providers: AWS, Azure, GCP. See this one, they have, these are the cloud providers. Okay, so don't worry about this, no need to have any knowledge on AWS and GCP and then Azure. What Snowflake will do is, Snowflake, they building their architecture on this particular, so AWS cloud platform, or so Azure or GCP, the complete thing. But so when we are working completely, we are going to work with Snowflake. In the back end, they are using for the storage and then cloud services, so computation, everything. So they are utilizing from the existing cloud providers. Okay, now these are the platforms. Here, if you observe, so based on organization, they are selecting. But one more thing here, we are not going to pay anything to these cloud platforms. These things will be taken care by the Snowflake itself. These things will be taken care by Snowflake itself. So we are going to utilize the Snowflake services, and then we are going to pay to the Snowflake, right? That's it. We are not going to pay anything to these cloud providers. We will pay directly to the Snowflake itself. Now, any one cloud provider you can select. All are same. There is no difference. Okay, but most of the organizations will use AWS. The reason behind that is, if you observe here, AWS cloud platform, see this, how many regions we have. See this one here. If you click on this, how many regions we have, right? One number of regions we have in AWS. When I select Azure, observe the regions. These are less regions when compared to AWS. At the same time, if I select GCP, observe these regions, only 3 regions is available here, right? So based on regions, and then most of the companies like 60% to 70%, the cloud platform providers is occupied by AWS. When you select AWS, now observe this, the down, what you need to do is you need to select the region. Observe this, these are the regions the AWS is providing to us. Okay, these any region you can select, it will work. But one thing you need to remember, always you need to select nearest region from where you are working. Suppose I am creating this account from India, my nearest region is Asia Pacific Mumbai. I will select this. So this is the best practice. You can select any one of the region, it will work. But the reason behind the selecting nearest region, for example, you are in US, you can select US East or US West based on your nearest region. If you are in UK, you can select EU, right? So like that, so you can select any nearest region. Why you need to select the nearest region here? When you select nearest region, it will reduce the latency. Latency means nothing but response time. Response time. It means, for example, let's assume if your system or internet connection is very slow, when you hit Facebook or Twitter, it will take some time to display your web page. So maybe everyone will have faced this issue. So it will take some time to open that complete web page, or when you are hitting your bank account, if you want to do some transaction, it will take some time to display your web page. Maybe it's because of your system performance or because of your internet connectivity, whatever it may be, right? So then that is nothing but the delay time, right? It is taking some time to open. That is nothing but latency, the response time, delay in response. When you select the nearest region, right, it will reduce the latency. It will reduce latency. So, and just click on this terms and condition. That's it. What are the things we have done when you are creating a trial account? In a first page, we have given our first name, last name, email ID, and then organization, and then just click on next after selecting. When you clicked on next here, we selected enterprise edition. This is the default edition. Then we are going to select the cloud providers. Cloud providers in the backend, AWS will use these cloud providers based on the regions, based on the organization, which region they want. Based on that, they can choose their cloud providers. Then click on get started. Observe this, and agree the terms and condition, and then click on get started. That's it. Your Snowflake trial account is going to create. Now observe this one. I clicked on get started. Okay, it's like verifying. That's it, I think. Now observe this. Account setup is in progress, right? Whatever the things we have discussed, right? Software download,
Yes,
checking the system configuration. Yeah, any questions?
Yeah, we can't see your screen.
Oh, just a minute. Let me reshare it again. Now, can you able to see my screen?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
What we need to choose the
Mm.
cloud cloud provider.
We can choose anything. It can be a AWS or Azure or GCP. The best thing is you can choose a AWS because it is having almost every regions. We can
Mhm.
select it because every like most of the companies they will choose AWS. Okay, because of the so options for regions. Okay. Now, if you observe, see this instead of downloading software, checking the system configuration, installation, configuration, users creation, roles creation, instead of all this drama, so here if you observe, see this one, your account setup is done. Your account setup is done, right? So now, so let me so check my account. Just a minute. It will send you activation link. Observe this one. Now we received the activation link. Click here to activate. Everything is done for us. So from the Snowflake side, so they have so just given a URL to access. Now if you click on activate, now observe this, click on activate. This is the URL. You can able to see that URL, right? This is the URL. Let me copy it here. This is the URL what we are going to work. So with this URL every time when you created a account, so let me copy the same URL in the top because we require this every day. So we are going to work with this URL. And now if you observe this URL, right, see this one, this is a unique account from your side. When you are creating, so you will get a unique account like this for everyone. When I created a Snowflake account, it will be a unique account. This tells Asia Pacific South 1 region because I selected the region of Mumbai. Asia Pacific South 1 region, and this is a AWS cloud platform we have selected. If you select Azure, then it will give you the details related to Azure. If you select GCP, then it will give you the details related to GCP. That's it. But when you are working with Snowflake, every time we are going to work with this link. Now, so this particular link we click on activate. Now, when I click on activate, what it is asking? Username, right? It is asking username and then password, confirm password. It is asking us to create username for a Snowflake account. Okay, what I will do is just I will give Snowflake, the username is Snowflake 5 I will give. Okay, and then password, you can give any password here. I am typing the password again, confirm password. After that, now observe this, get started, right? It will be get started. Click on get started. Observe this, what I have given. So I went to the email and then I received a email activation link. So sometimes just wait for 2 to 3 minutes. If your so activation link is not received, please check it in your spam emails and then promotion mails also. Okay, you will get it. Now, so when you click on that particular link, we have creating username and then we are creating password. Now click on get started. When you click on get started, it will route to your Snowflake account. So with this username and password, this link, every time you are going to work with your Snowflake. Now observe this, it is asking the username which I created. It is asking the password which we have created. Here, just give Snowflake 5 I have given. This is the username. Let me type it here. This is the username. And then I have given password. Okay, I will remember this. Okay. Now let's come to this one. So now what I have given. So this is the link. After that username and password, it is asking the username and then password when we are logging in. Now observe this one. When we logged in, it will go to so our this particular account. It allowed us to log into our Snowflake account. But one thing here, if you observe generally classic console, this one left hand side. So whatever I showed you in the last session, it is the view is different, this view is different. Okay, if you want to go to the classic view, what you can do is see this classic console option is that right? We have a classic console option. Just click on that, click on the classic console option, and then again it will ask you no username and then password. See this one now. So we came to our Snowflake trial account. It's a new account which we have created with our email ID details and then personal details. Now, if you observe one thing, this is your complete Snowflake account. Here you can able to see all the icons on the top. This we will call it as a ribbon. These things we didn't done anything. Already Snowflake has given for us. Okay, and it's a plug and play kind of thing. And at the same time, if you observe here, this is a Snowflake 5 is a user which we have created. And if you observe the roles, see this, all these roles also Snowflake has created for us. Snowflake has created for us. We have account admin role and then organization admin, public, system admin, security admin, user admin. All these are the different roles which is available in Snowflake for us. These things we didn't created. Snowflake is created for us. We can use these roles. And at the same time, the left hand side, this is a navigation panel. The left hand side, you can able to see two databases, two databases. Inside the database, we have a schemas. These are the schemas. I will explain what it means by the database, what is the schema. Inside the schema, what will be there. So these are the schemas. Inside the schema, we have tables. See this one, we have tables. If you observe this, how user friendly is our Snowflake account or Snowflake so warehouse, just observe this is completely with the URL you are going to access. You can access from your system or from anywhere when you have your URL, when you have your username and password, right? It is not nothing installed in your laptop, right? It is not physically install anything in your laptop. It's completely a cloud. With the URL you are accessing, whatever you are doing here, where it will be stored? It will be stored in the backend in the storage resources. And what is the cloud services? Here, if you observe, whatever the options you are seeing in a UI, we will call this as a user interface. What we are seeing here, this is user interface. With this user interface, whatever you can able to see, right? These things we can able to operate by using this cloud services. And at the same time, if you observe virtual the like communicator between storage and then services. So cloud services layer is computation layer, that is processing layer, that is nothing but this compute resources. Here you can able to see that this one compute resources warehouse, right? This is a virtual warehouse. Here you can able to see the icon, right? This is a virtual warehouse. This icon we can call it as a compute so resources. Okay, now if you come to worksheet, wherever we are going to write the queries, right? So we are going to write the queries in a worksheet. This is the space, so we are going to write the so queries. But in Snowflake, if you observe, most of the things, 90% of the 90 to 95%, we can able to handle by using UI interface. This UI interface we can able to work. So for example, generally, if you want to write a query, what you are going to do? So generally you will write a query here, right? Select, for example, star from our table, any table. Let's take any table name, EMP or DEPT, whatever it may be. This table is not here. Okay, just I have taken for the example. Or you have a call center, or I will take the same name, call center. Okay, so this is the table. Now, if you want to see any details, you need to write a query like this. Or if you want to see the count in this particular table, you need to write a query. Select count star from table. Okay. If you are not having any idea on like how to write a query, don't worry about that. In the further classes, we are going to discuss how to write a query and each and everything. To go to the like so writing a query and then giving the conditions, we need a platform to work with that query, right? That's why first we created a Snowflake trial account. Everything from so next session, whatever we are going to do, right? Everything we are going to do it in our Snowflake account, like from creating a database, creating a table, and then so implementing all other options. Now observe this. If you just move the cursor on the table, all these other tables, this is a database, this is a schema, and these are the tables. Now observe this, what you can able to see in the next session. So we'll go in depth what it meant by the database, why you required a schema, and then what is the so table, and then why it should be in the table, and then how the data stored in the table. We will discuss all those things. Now just observe this here, what all the features the Snowflake has given. If you just move the cursor on the table, what you can able to see, how many records we have, and then when the table is created on number of rows, what is the size. Generally, if you want to know this information, what you need to do, you need to write a query. But here it's showing the complete information here, right? And at the same time, see this, so you can able to get the information. And at the same time, so if you want to get any data from the table, what we will do, we will write a query like this, right? Instead of that, see this one here, just click on this three dots option is there, right, on the table. Click on that. See this option, preview data, preview data. Now when you click on that, see this, instead of writing a query, you can able to see the complete information in this particular table. It means we are selecting the information from this particular table. Here we don't want to see all these columns information. Then we have to write a filter condition here, like after this, so you will give where condition based on column, and then you will give a condition, for example cc class equal to large, like that, right? So instead of that, if you want to filter something, just select this, wherever large is available we want to display that. Then observe this one, wherever the large, so in which place wherever we have a large, in all the columns it will going to display. Or if you want to see this particular name, wherever it is there, just to give that, see this one, this is the info, this particular record. It means we are filtering, right? So we are filtering based on condition. For that, again no need to write a query, just by using this filter option you can able to get it. And we have these many number of columns, right? I don't want to display all the columns. Observe this one. What you can do is you can deselect all the columns here. You can deselect all the columns, and then you can able to see whatever the columns we selected. Right? So most of the shortcuts it is available. Let's say if you want to create a table. Okay. I don't know how to write a query here. Okay. So we want to create a table without this implementing writing a query. Then just observe this, go to database, just click on a database, and here we have a databases, existing databases. These are existing databases the Snowflake has given for us for the practice purpose. And observe this, we have a create option here. Click on create, click on create, and create database. What it is telling, create database. If you want to create a database, generally, so in other day what you will do, we will write a query, create database name. Here observe this, for our class I am creating a database. Okay, and then finish. Database is created. How it is created in the backend? If you click on database, all these other objects like tables, views, schemas, stages, each and everything one by one we will discuss. Now if you come to the tables, table is available. Table means, so we need to create a table to store the data in structured format. When you want to create that, let's assume that I have a employee table. For example, I am showing here how the table will be created. Employee table. and I need 3 columns. For example, observe this employee ID, for example, employee ID, and then employee name and employee location. Okay, and this is ID is this particular data type is string. These are the data types, right? Let's select the data types based on existing thing. Data types. So in which format this particular data is storing? Is it a number, or is it a string, or is it a date format, or is it a float? So based on that, is it a decimal? Based on that, we can select the data types here. Now what we have given? We have given a table name, we have given a column names, and then data types. When you click on finish, the table will be created. How it will be created? Without writing a query here. If you want to see that whatever the selection in UI we have given, right, these things, if you observe, if you click on show SQL, if you click on show SQL, you can able to see this one, create a table, table name within this database, within this schema. This is the table, and column names, data types. This has written by Snowflake. Based on our selection, Snowflake created this query on behalf of us, and this query will be hit on the database in the backend when you click on finish. When you click on finish, this query, whatever the based on this selection, Snowflake has created a query in the backend. If you see in show SQL, this query will be fired on the backend, and then the table will be created when you click on finish. Now observe this. I clicked on finish. The table is created. If you want to see that the database we created class, within the class database we created a table. If you want to see that, so come to the worksheet and here refresh it. See this one, this is a refresh option. Refresh this option. Okay, now you can able to see the class database, and then public, and then table, right? When you created a table, any database, you will have two schemas by default. One is information schema, another one is public schema. Whatever we are going to create, everything we are going to create like database objects, tables or views, everything we are going to create it in a public schema, and related information related to this public schema objects, it will be available in information schema. So when we are working with that, we will see what it contains, and then what is the advantage of information schema, what it is going to store later. Now what we have done, we created a database without using any queries. We created a database, we created a table, right? And so one more thing, if you observe, so here the account, so this is the user, Snowflake 5 is the user, and then these are the roles, so which Snowflake has given for us. Here account admin is the super user role. It means in other databases you will have a administrator, right? It is related to administrator, but you don't have any roles called administrator here. They have given a name as account admin. Okay, in interviews they will ask, so what is the role you are going to use to create a user, to create a roles, this, and what is the super user role here? Do you have administrator role in Snowflake? For all these questions the answer will be account admin will fulfill the administrator role here. Account admin role is the super user role. We don't have administrator name here for the roles. We have account admin. It means this account admin is the super user. This account admin have all the options. That's why when you are working with trial account, you have this account admin. Okay, you can able to access all these options. Now observe one thing here, shares option is there, you can able to access, and you have one icon called account here, right? When you click on this account, you can able to see usage, billing, users, roles, right? All these options you can able to see. You can able to see how much credits it is utilizing, right? All these options. And at the same time, see this one. So here we have notifications, right? And then accounts. Now I am trying to log in with other role. Observe this one here. Previously it is a account admin. We can able to see all these icons. Now if I switch the role to sysadmin, observe this carefully what I am doing. Just I am switching the role. Instead of account admin, account admin is a default role. Instead of this account admin role, we are switching to sysadmin. Any other thing you can take. See this one. Can you able to see the account icon here? Can you able to see the notification icon here, which is available previously? No. It means this sysadmin role with this particular user is not having access to all the options. See this one, shares. We don't have all the options, right? At the same time, so account admin icon is disabled. Account icon is disabled. It means they don't have permission to create users, to create roles, right? Create policies. The other users don't have permission. Suppose if I come to public, see this one, these are the other users, other roles. There is no permission. Now I am switching to again account admin role. This is a default role. We can call it as a super user role. When you come to the account admin, again you can able to see all the options. Okay, so I'm requesting is for everyone, so just create a trial account. So how we have done, so today the same process, there is no difference. And try to like check what all the icons is available. So you need to be just like a familiar so with the so tool navigation. So what is there in the database? Okay, don't do anything, just go and then click on each and everything, so with the different roles, and then just observe. Just click on shades, click on marketplace, and just observe, and then click on explore where it is going to direct. Just observe, and then we have a warehouses, and then what are the other options we have, just click on that, and then so you just observe. So when you click on create config resume, what will happen? And then come to the worksheet. Here you have different so I like create, you can create a worksheets. So just like try to create a worksheet. Just try to play around with the so this particular navigation, and then click on history, and then just observe each and every like icon here. And then so just try to so explore the things, what are the things available. Just you need to be familiar with the navigation, and then so this naming convention. And then so what we'll do is now we have a like account ready to use. It's ready to create any table. So now so everything is ready, our setup is ready, so you can able to create a database. So if you want to create any table, we can able to create here. Everything is ready in the now. So next sessions, right, what we are going to do is we will discuss about basics about the SQL, these three topics. Like first I will see how to like write a select statement, how to implement a operators, how to implement like other operator, how to play with the SQL, how basically how to write a SQL statement. So how to so work with a database, we will see that. Okay, in the next like 2 sessions or 3 sessions, we will see so how to work. Before that, I will explain to you so what exactly the database, and then what so why we require a schema, and then why we require a table. So what is the relation between these things? So we will jump into that first. Then so we will create database here, and then we will create a schema, and then we will create a table, and then so we will see how to write a queries and all. Okay, if you have anyone is having like already the database knowledge, that will be a repetition for them. If anyone is not having the database knowledge, right, so for them it will be so very useful to understand what exactly we are doing here in our Snowflake account. This is the complete account in the Snowflake, so we are going to use on we will use on everyday basis. Okay, I'm requesting everyone to create this account so for the so practice purpose. Okay, so now so we'll stop it here. So what we discussed here, just we saw that so how to create a trial account, and then what all the options is available in your Snowflake. And when we jump into the Snowflake, right, I will explain how the architecture will work in the backend. It means when I file a query, when we execute a query, how it will go to each and every layer. in the backend, how this caches mechanism will work, and then why Snowflake is very fast when compared to others. We will discuss all those things in, so when we jump into so completely into our the Snowflake functionalities. Okay, so any questions here from anyone? You can see one chart window. Let me check.
Yeah,
Any
when
questions?
we create this account,
Yeah, Yuvraj, tell me.
yeah, so this $400, right? So if
Mm.
we keep the account open for about a whole day, then we'll
Mm.
consume almost like $25 per that day, right?
No, it's not like that. What will happen is, okay, for your question, the answer will be here. If you observe, see this one. This is
Yeah.
a compute warehouse. When here you can able to see the small radio button, right? Okay, let me show you something here. Now, here this is idle now, right? It
Yeah.
is not turned into green, the small radio button. Now I am executing this query. When I am executing the query, let me connect it to this. Call center is available here. Let me connect it to the database and then schema. Now when I'm executing this, observe this small dot icon. Now it's
Okay.
turned into green, right? How
Yeah.
much time it has utilized? 461 milliseconds, right?
Okay. Yeah.
461 milliseconds. This particular milliseconds only it will calculate. And
Okay.
this particular virtual warehouse, right?
Yeah.
Automatically it will suspend if you are not utilizing this after 10 minutes.
Okay.
Understand, right? Those things we will discuss in a virtual warehouse mechanism, how the things will work in the back end, how this architecture, this complete architecture will work in the back end. It will be too early for us, so if you discuss these things you may be, so you will get so confused. Okay, that's why, so we'll come to this later. I will explain to you, okay, how the things will work, how it will be priced. Whatever the query we are running, it will have the time, how much time it has executed. That particular time it will accumulate end of the day, how much time we have processed the each and every queries. Based on that, it will calculate. So if you are utilized 1 hour or half an hour, based on that, it will be calculate the pricing.
And also, Dinesh, you told correct. If it is in the cache, already information is available. It
Yes,
won't be. It won't be
it
charged
won't.
anything. Correct.
It won't be
Exactly.
charged again.
Exactly.
Suppose
Yeah.
this is the first time I ran at 461 milliseconds.
Yeah.
If you run the same query again one more time, observe this. 461 milliseconds previously, now it is just a 67 milliseconds. How it has
Yeah.
done in the backend is that is related to the cache. See this, your virtual warehouse will have cache layer. It will be stored here, and then from here it is going to pick next time onwards. So that's why, so you can able to so see this much of different 461 milliseconds to it dropped to 67 milliseconds. So each and everything, how the functionality will work, what is the caching when you are running the first time, what all the things it will be there in the back end. So those things also, so I will explain it to you.
Yeah. Normally, Yuvraj, not only this Snowflake, any database also, there will be buffer caches. Only the first time it will fetch the data from the database. Second time and fifth time, same query without any changes. Always it will be, 100% to 200% faster. That is called as a disk read versus memory read. The same thing applicable for the Snowflake also. If you run again, it will be even much faster. So that is the way it will work in any database anywhere. Yeah. And one more thing, team. So tomorrow, due to the Tuesday for US, so there won't be any class, just to remember. Okay. Everybody can note down. So only Monday, we have Wednesday and Friday. Correct, Dinesh?
Yes.
For the US timings.
Yep.
Yeah. And also we have Saturday and Sunday. Same time and the same link. Yeah. So the class recording always post into the WhatsApp group, Dinesh.
Yes, I will do that in another 10 to 15 minutes.
Yeah, sure.
Once the recording is ready, I will send it to
Correct.
everyone.
Correct. Yeah. Hey, team,
Okay.
any other questions?
I have a question, sir. So we can create the table with the query and with the database, right? So
Yes.
database is more structured than query, like it has info schema, all that. So
Mm.
do we need to use particular like a database for some and query for some tables. Is there anything like that, or it's both of them are same?
Okay, if I understand your question Siri correctly, you are asking, so you can create a table from by using a create table option. At the same time, you can create a table by using this create option, right? Both the things, is it same or is there any difference? That's it, right? You are asking. Okay,
Yes.
so when you created by user interface option, right, you can able to create by using all the option, but you cannot able to alter. Both are same, but if you want to alter any specific columns, so if you want to restructure, that is not possible in UI. Then you have to come to the worksheet. Here you need to write a query for that. In the both the place, if you create it here or if you create it here, both are almost, it will be 99%, it will be similar. There is no difference. Okay, so if you create here also, you will have the database, it will be have, so two schemas also. Okay, so instead of writing query, what you can do is you can go here and then you can select the options. Both are same.
Both are same. Thank you.
Only one is a command line
Only
and
one thing,
one is a
yep.
one is a GUI, correct?
Exactly. True.
Yeah, that's all. Yeah. Team, this also
Any other
applicable for
question?
any database. So you can write a query. If you are experienced and highly knowledgeable, you can able to manipulate more better. And in the GUI, you are having a little less options. Only you need to drop down and select only. That's all the difference. But both the cases, the data will be stored in the database only, not anything different.
Yep. Any other questions from anyone?
Yeah, we can conclude. I think there is no questions now. Thanks, Dinesh.
Okay, fine. Thank you, guys.
Yeah.
All right. Bye.
Yeah. See you, team. Tomorrow there is no class, and the day after tomorrow.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Yeah. Bye.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.